very good morning and welcome to the beautiful city of Sydney, Australia's face to the world for this international broadcast. And 17 years ago, this weekend was the opening ceremony for the 2000 Olympics held right here. And today, the Games marathon course on the famous blue line still offers hope, pain, ambition and accomplishment in similar doses. A very good morning, the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival, and welcome. Hopefully you're emerging out of bed and making the best of this beautiful vista that is the Sydney Harbour. Joining me in commentary, a top 10 finisher on the course in 2000 at the Sydney Olympics. His final marathon in green and gold, Steve Moneghetti, good morning.
Hello, Ian.
And Steve Ovett, a bustling gold medalist at the 1980 Olympic Games in the 800 metres. Steve.
Bustling, thank you, Ian. I've heard it called many things, but not that before, but great to be here.
Well, there is more than 2,000 international runners from 66 countries and over 30,000 runners in total as we get set for the start of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival Marathon. And as you can see, a genuinely international field.
Well, there's the top two Kenyans. You can never discount Kenyans. Korea and Kiprono being the top two, I think, to look out for. Very strong, and then the Ethiopians backing that up as well. But don't forget, this is also an Australian championship as well, Steve.
That's right, and the Japanese have always been prominent here, but I just sense this year we've got probably the Kenyans and African strength, I think.
Certainly plenty of local hopes as well. As you suggested, it is the Australian Championship. So the first Aussie across the line will be crowned as the national champion. And of course, it's the lead up certainly to next year as well. Here's the women's lineup.
Well, Timosegan, I think, looks as if she could be the one to watch out for. I think the Ethiopian yet again dominating the race. The Kenyans
defending champion, though, Steve, from last year, Magda Haji, who came on really well. So
it's a great
that
race.
Experience
it's a great
will
race.
Certainly help her. So looking forward to that event. But certainly Africans there, I think, again.
And you can see our wheelchair competitors also at the front there. So all is in readiness, the gun not far away.
That's right. I think the conditions, it's actually slightly chilly. So I think that's, whilst it might, they're rugged up, I think it'll be a good day for running.
Let's have a look at the terrain. They start at Milson's Point over the iconic Harbour Bridge, of course, and then we head into the parks and we get into Centennial Park.
What about the 10K mark? Look at that. It's a wonderful course around the green there before they come back into the city itself, Steve. But the course is fairly flat, though, isn't it? No major problems there.
No, they've changed it to make it as fast as possible, and some beautiful running through Centennial Park. Part of that's the Olympic marathon course, but stays mainly in town now, Ian.
And then it heads into Darling Harbour, around the Pyrmont area, Barangaroo, of course, and then back through Circular Quay, and we finish at the beautiful forecourt right here at the Sydney Opera House. 42 kilometres ahead for these runners as a part of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival. The man with the gun is David Fenlon, Blackmores ANZ Managing Director. And we're underway in the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival Marathon, as there is that bustling style, Steve Ovett, you're famous for from the 1980 Olympics. The elbows have been sharpened and they all want a bit of free air to be able to get out and away.
I always amazed at how they get away so fast when you've got 42k to run. I mean, I would sort of lumber away fairly slowly, but they get off pretty quick, don't they, Steve?
Oh, you want to just have a clear start. You want clear air, no doubt about that. And all you want to do is get away safely and settle into your rhythm as quick as you can. But yeah, there's always just a bit of jostling, and you always worry that you're going to have one of those days that the day you fall.
And the adrenaline, that's the other thing as well. The adrenaline kicks in, and you think, right, let's get out there and let's just run faster than you've ever done in training. That's the problem.
Yes. There's Brad Milosevic. Some people will know, former winner of City to Surf, represented Australia. He's pacing today, so he's out the front setting that pace early, so that'll make sure that the runners just get going. So be aware of Brad. He'll be trying to get a nice even pace, but try it about record pace as well. So the record time about 2:11, so that's the pace he's going to set.
You can see the ironwork of the Harbour Bridge starting to appear. The trains, of course, that make their way across also running. Traffic has been stopped, though, as Steve Moneghetti said. It's a beautiful, iconic bridge to run over the top of, and for a lot of people, they come here to Sydney just specifically to be able to do that. Here's some of our lead women.
Yeah, A13 there, just picked out, just in the middle of that group. Now, that's the one I think we've got to look out for. Etafahu Timosegan, she's really a class athlete and in good form too. So that's the ones we're going to watch out for. At the moment, they're running with a group of men. They might separate a little bit further on into the race, but they're doing a good job. And there's obviously one of the other athletes that's running for the Guinness Book of Records. There is a classification for running a marathon in a suit.
No, surely he's just going to work early.
Yeah, he's missed the bus.
Caught up.
He's missed the bus. I know the feeling.
He looks like he should be heading to the CBD and in there.
But look at that. This already is strung right out. There's a gap there, but with about, almost 200 or 300 metres there, putting this lead group of about 10 to the rest of them chasing hard.
Yeah, I am surprised that it's...
were you expecting this early break, this separation?
Well, to some degree, but I thought this group would be all together. You don't want to be 2 or 3 metres off the pace. You might as well be in the pace. So you don't, no matter what your mindset is, you would want to be in a pack, because these early kilometres, all you're doing is conserving energy, just ticking off the Ks as efficiently as you can.
This is the largest running festival in Australia, and it's also achieved, obviously, over the last couple of years, the gold label, which is super important and allows these sort of international runners to be able to come here. Have a look at this. This is a Guinness World Record attempt for the most, or the marathon completed, bouncing 2 basketballs. He's in for a long day.
I think he's having a ball though.
Oh.
The Sydney Running Festival is strongly supported by the New South Wales Government, and it's a great opportunity as an event to showcase some of the iconic attractions of our global city here in Sydney and in New South Wales. It's an event that continues to grow in stature, and this year we'll have over 2,000 runners from overseas, from countries like New Zealand, China, the US and Japan. Last year it was worth nearly $8.5 million to the New South Wales economy, and this year will be bigger and better. I hope everyone participating in the festival this year has a great time.
They're down to 8 already. I mean, they're already started, you can see one of the Japanese dropping off the back. So I think they're rolling along okay.
Yeah, they're doing
Beautiful
well.
section through here on the tiles through Hyde Park.
Well, I think one of the good things about this course, the beautiful thing about this course, is it changes so much, Steve. There's no monotony, which I think is a big problem for the marathon running. So, you know, if you've got that straight, long, dual carriageway type course that you sometimes have in the faster marathons,
Yep.
then that sometimes is self-defeating, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And this bridge, of course, allows traffic to continue through the Hyde Park precinct as they head towards the southern reaches of Hyde Park, the Anzac Memorial, the Pool of Reflection. You can hear and feel the heat or the feet stamping down there. And we'll leave this at the moment. And our half marathon, of course, 21 kilometres, the half marathon as well. There's so many different events, the bridge and the family, but let's check in with our half marathon. And again, the start from Milson's Point and across the beautiful Harbour Bridge follows a path similar to the marathon, and then obviously breaks out as well, the 21 Ks.
Yeah, and half marathon, obviously the half distance, but a great, very popular distance, probably the most popular running distance now. And quite a local course here, right in the central area. So again, expecting some fast times. Great conditions for the half.
For a lot of people, this is the stepping stone to be able to get to the 42, isn't it, Monas?
We call it the normal person's marathon. Yeah. Don't have to quite put your life on hold, but there's still, people who are challenging themselves stepped out from the 10K.
And you can see the turn. This got underway earlier this morning, the half marathon, and across the bridge there as they come through. Wonderful conditions, early sunrise, and look at how many people want to be involved.
Tom DeCanto.
And that was, I think, the name you might have picked out.
Yeah,
Monas.
he's probably pre-race favourite. He's in great form at the moment, running really well. So he's done the business today.
Which the half marathon, terrific place to be finishing. And the women competitors also getting across the line as well. Arms
Lauren
up
Reed,
in the air.
I think. Yep, so
Great work by Lauren.
And I think that was Matt Cox we saw just coming in second place as well. So, the ones that you expect are coming through well.
Yeah, and they ran very fast. Looks like I think they've enjoyed good conditions. There we go, confirmed Tom DeCanto. 65.00. That is very fast. That proves how good the conditions are today, just outside the race record. So Matthew Cox there in third as well. And Lauren Reed, 76, just under 77. So some really good running. That's terrific. Lauren will be really happy with it.
Set against the backdrop of Sydney Harbour, Sydney Opera House is one of the world's most distinctive buildings, attracting millions of visitors from all over the world each year, making it the perfect finish line for the Sydney Marathon. It was designed by Danish architect Jørn Utzon and opened in 1973 and is the youngest building to achieve World Heritage listing. The iconic piece of architecture is a multi-venue performing arts centre, hosting over 1,500 performances each year, including opera, ballet, theatre and musicals.
The Sydney Cricket Ground, beautiful scenes there, and of course come summertime the visiting nations will be here looking to try and take the Aussies on. A wonderful grandstand, the SCG, and home of the Sydney Swans as well. It's the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Pretty much ideal weather conditions.
Well, we've got the group of men up in front, really, and we've got the group of women. Well, just a bit of a problem there as they went round a very tight corner. One of them just tripped over the bollard there. I'm not sure who it was. I think it may have been, looking it back, it may have been Couture there.
Now, this is our lead men's group. We seem to have a couple that have dropped off the back. There's two sitting in a bit of no man's land, and there's now starting to emerge a bit of a breakaway of three runners with Brad at the moment.
They've just come through a drink station, I think, Ian.
Yeah,
so I reckon
okay.
they've taken some water and just split them up. So they'll probably pack up again. It often happens at a drink station because it's not easy. You've got to find your own personal drink, and there's, sometimes if you miss it, you'll actually go back and get your drink because it's that important to keep hydrated.
Yep. 42K is never easy for anybody, no matter whether you're an elite athlete or just a normal, what I would call fun runner.
That's right. It's a very long way. It's something the human body wasn't naturally meant to do, so you've got to train up for it to get through in as best shape as you can. There we see the ladies. There is that drink station, a bit of, as you would call it, there's a bit of bustling going on in there. That's right.
Of course, we do appreciate the support of all our great sponsors, and Blackmore's in particular, the managing director who's actually doing the family fun run today, David Fenlon from Blackmore's, our ANZ managing director. Let's catch up now.
I'm with Dave Fenlon, Managing Director of Blackmore's Australia and New Zealand. Dave, you having a run today?
I am. I'm having a go at the 10K with my wife.
Lovely. Now, listen, what does the Sydney Running Festival mean to Blackmore's?
Well, it's a special year this year. It's our 13th year organising and being in the event. But most importantly, it's our 85th birthday this year, along with the Harbour Bridge.
That's fantastic. Now, doesn't she look beautiful today? How many are we expecting out there on course?
I've just seen the race director and he's looking for record numbers, over 33,000 people today.
33,000, that's just incredible. Well done.
Thanks.
So let's hope David and his wife go well in the 10K. There is something for everyone. 3.5 kilometre family. The 10K bridge, of course, that's now the new extended distance. The half marathon we've seen 21 kilometres, and this is the marathon 42 and a little bit. at Centennial Park overhead at the moment. Let's check in though with Andrew Reid.
Down here with dual Olympian Eloise Wellings and bronze medalist in the walk, Dane Birdsmith, the Birdman. Let's talk to you first, mate. You're having a walk in the Blackmores Bridge Run today. You've got a PB of 38 minutes for the walk. That is phenomenal. You're going to give that a nudge?
Yeah, it should be a bit tough today with some of the hills stinging there, but I'll give the punters a red-hot crack and the Weekend Warriors a run for their money.
Good stuff, mate. That was beautiful. Now, listen, Eloise, you're going to towel up the boys today. I think you're a red-hot favourite. How are you going to go?
Yeah, well, I'm going to beat the girls first, and but I definitely will try and keep up with the boys as I always do. And yeah, beautiful morning for it. I'm just going to give it a crack too.
And you're also running for your charity, Love Mercy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm running for the Love Mercy Foundation. We've got a challenge going on at the moment where we're trying to run 1 million kilometres before the completion of the Commonwealth Games next year. So you can sign up for that for free and donate your running kilometres. And every time we hit a significant kilometre mark, one of our generous charity partners will donate to our projects in northern Uganda.
That's amazing. Well, I wish you both all the best of luck. Good luck out there, and we'll see you at the finish line.
Terrific news there, and of course fundraising is a key initiative for the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival, raising over $16.9 million in total so far. It's a record-breaking year, this one, $1.5 million for Australian charities, making a difference to over 100 charities, including the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation and Breast Cancer Network Australia, who have jointly raised over $100,000. So not only do you come here and run and compete, but obviously the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival raising great money, millions of dollars for charities right around Australia. So still got our 8 runners along with our pacemaker, the man out in front in the blue.
Yeah, I don't think Ian they're going to do too much, are they? While they've got the luxury of a pacemaker out in front there. Brad's doing as best he can. Slightly tiring, I think, at the moment, but they're loving the fact that they've got that luxury of someone out in front.
And here's our lead women, which was a group of 4 or 5 lead women, maybe 6 now at the moment.
Karuchi Urubi there is the pacemaker. He's doing a great job, was same as Brad for the men. He's leading the women through at a reasonable pace, and they're again very happy to just follow for the first half of this marathon before they start dictating their own rhythm, I suppose, on the second half.
Okay, a little move here as well.
Another drink station, I think they're coming up. Just
a bit of separation there for Aboye to be able to grab the hydration.
And he grabbed it cleanly. You want to get in the first one in, you get the pick of the table, so it's a lot easier to spot your drink, and he did it well there.
Nice to see some of them sharing that drink there. That's good, because obviously if you miss the chance of grabbing some fluids, you're in serious trouble later on in the race.
Just a short ferry ride from the city, situated right on Sydney Harbour, there are few locations more spectacular than Luna Park, Sydney. On the northern side of the harbour, visitors to Luna Park are treated to an incredible view back towards the city, lining up the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House. First opened in 1935, Luna Park, Sydney is home to world-class dining, entertainment and the iconic Luna Park face.
The Blackmores Sydney Marathon was awarded the prestigious gold label from the IAAF, officially recognising the event as a world leader in marathons. And that means that for these runners that come here, the internationals come here, there's a real stamp of authority about this race, isn't there?
There is, and you have to have a certain number of qualified athletes.
So the bridge run, of course, as we've said, something for everyone today. This has now been extended to 10 kilometres, the Milsons Point marshalling area, and then heading all the way through the beautiful, beautiful areas of Sydney and finishing here at the Sydney Opera House forecourt. And you can see Eloise Welling there, 10 Ks ahead. And so Xijun Tong, the Deputy Consul General of the Consulate General of China, firing the gun.
And again, it looks like they've got away cleanly. There's Eloise, all good.
10 kilometres.
And good that it's 10K, you know. It has been a bit of changing distance over the bridge, but that's a set distance.
That's
now.
A standardised distance, isn't it, in running? Everybody knows the 10K.
Steve Moneghetti, Steve Ovett with me in commentary. What does this mean when the hour ticks over? Have you just marked that box and you continue to move on? You're feeling strong For these people, obviously, maybe the suffering is a little deeper, but we can see our elite runners to the left of screen there, our everyday warriors, and some of the timers coming to the right of screen.
And I love this part of the course where that interaction, a lot of the recreational runners will move to the middle of the road just to see them. Isn't it great that we can share the road together?
I think that's, as I said earlier, that's one of the great things about the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival, is that you've got that combination of elite athletes and, you know, the normal sort of fun runners that like to just go out there and do their best.
Whilst these guys have got glasses, they're looking, not really showing a lot of emotion, they are reading how the other runners around them are feeling. And don't you worry, they are assessing how everyone is running, how they go in and out of drink stations, whether people are losing time, dropping off. Exactly like here. So here we see Magda Haji making a significant break. You know, this is fast running. This is unknown territory for a lot of these athletes. So Magda's ran 2:26, 2:32 winning here last year. She's made a break now. This is significant. So, you know, we've got to see how the other girls
at this
respond.
part of the race, she's decided to really sort of, you know, just ditch with the pacemaking and push it on. And that's a courageous effort at at this point. Less than halfway for them. Yeah, it's funny with the boy, he keeps looking back all the time. He's leading, and as Steve said, you shouldn't really keep looking back because they are going to be there. He's looking at his watch again. Whether he thinks he's just going to go to a certain point or he's helping someone here, I don't know.
They're in single file, so I think maybe coming, as Ian mentioned, off that downhill, I think they've got rolling a little bit, and the rhythm's changed a bit, and they're thinking, well, I've come off the downhill feeling pretty good. I'm going to keep this momentum going.
Beautiful rhythm at the moment. No fatigue in those legs. She looks very confident.
And that's what we need to watch, Steve. So watch the arms, the head bob, the legs, good rhythm, nice knee lift. It's when one of those factors goes. She's still got an hour of running to go. You know, we're looking at race record 2:26, so she's got an hour of running yet. So there's a lot of running to go.
Looks like we might have a break here with a Boyer who's jumped off the fronts here of the men's group.
Isn't that perfect? I just named the two Kenyans as going to be dominating, and he's obviously got the earpiece in. He's heard me call it because he's taken off. He's travelling very well, but he's probably overly aggressive at this early stage. It looks like it's a bit of a downhill section of the course, so he's decided, well, we're going to test a few out. He's certainly going to test them. Well, that's a gap now.
You can see that's grown, really hasn't it?
Yeah. And the two Japanese are actually chasing rather than Sammy Correa and Alan Kiprono. So that's interesting that Atori is the aggressor and chasing him down, still shaking those arms about. And
well, he's deceptive, a boy. I mean, he looks as if he's grimacing slightly, but he's obviously moving well. He keeps checking his watch all the time. He keeps looking back all the time. So it's not a confident runner, I don't think, as such, is it?
No.
We did see the start of the 10-kilometre bridge run, the new extended distance as well. We've got some finishes as well from the 10-kilometre bridge run. We can have a look at that. And this is Adrian Plummer getting across the line first in the men's.
Well picked. Looking good. We'll just try and get a time. Oh, 31, just right on 31 minutes. So good running.
Well done to Adrian Plummer. And you can see him there, 10Ks though. It's beautiful conditions. You can see blue sky, and Eloise Wellings then coming and clapping her fellow runners all the way across the line. So great work from the Olympian. So 36 years young is Kurt Fernley. You can hear the whistles going. The announcers making their way through, and a genuine champion of the sport. Got enough time to high-five everyone, and Kurt Fernley takes out his 11th title at the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival. What a magnificent piece of history he's got, Kurt Fernley, and an extraordinary representative for Australia.
Again, I think this is the chasing group in the women. These two have been running almost stride for stride over the last sort of 5K or so. And I think it's Couture and then just behind her, Kibaris.
Of course, our team from St John's Ambulance, we have so many volunteers out on the course today. We want everyone to stay safe and healthy. But Callum Gray's got the latest information on the Zoll AED.
We'll have about 80 volunteers along the course at first aid posts, as well as a few bicycle emergency response teams. These are automatic external defibrillators. If someone has a cardiac arrest and their heart stops, that it will shock it back into a normal rhythm. So these are incredibly important and drastically increase the survival from a cardiac arrest. And our teams will have them all along the course. These are automatic, so they'll talk to you. They basically do all the analysis on whether to shock or not to shock by themselves. You press the on button, you put it on, and then it tells you what to do from there. So our advice to people for having a safe and good race is to, one, make sure you're hydrated and don't get dehydrated. That's the major problem for most people. And other things are make sure you've got some food in your stomach, make sure that you put some sunscreen on and don't get sunburnt, and make sure you have a good rest the night before.
So much preparation and awareness goes into all of our athletes, elite or everyday, staying safe and healthy. The family fun run, terrific, 3.5 kilometres again, the Milsons Point starting position across the bridge, and with the family fun / walk, you can take your time, you can get across there, and they do finish up at the Conservatorium, just behind obviously the forecourt and into that parkland areas. So Maggie Zhu, who is the Managing Director for Australia and New Zealand for the Alibaba Group, fires the gun. And underway, the Blackmores family fun run or walk, take your pick, and look at those young men and women right out in front making their moment.
I love it. I love it when the kids are all up in front, they're giving it big stick. Look at them, really running hard. They're flat out.
Is that a 100-metre sprint, did you say, Ian, or how fast is this race? 3.5.
I bet they've said to their parents, right, I'm going to get it right at the front, Dad, and I'm going to smash you in this one.
Yeah, that's what my kids say to me. I'll see you at the finish line, they say.
He's got the lead car just ahead of him, and he can see that 2-hour magic 2 hour coming up fairly soon. And as you say, that must be an incentive to him.
Yeah, and you start to get a pick. You can see the bridge and you see the operator. So you start to know that you're on your way home. So he's getting closer to that stage now. So once you hit 2 hours, I think you start thinking you're a chance of winning.
Let's find out a little bit more about some of the areas they're running past, including the beautiful Barangaroo Reserve.
What was once a disused shipping container yard is now one of Sydney's most stunning headlands. Barangaroo Reserve is a public parkland which features sweeping harbour views and is one of the best spots to take in the city. The headland was constructed to recreate the original shoreline, using 10,000 sandstone blocks that were excavated on site and carved to create a naturalistic foreshore. Amongst the 75,000 native plants in the reserve are 84 species of trees and shrubs, almost all of which are native to the Sydney region. Across its 5.7 hectares, Barangaroo Reserve contains pedestrian and shared cycle paths, public lawn areas with views of the Harbour Bridge and the new Nawi Cove and Marinari Cove. Underneath the artificial hill is the Cutaway, a 6-storey high event space built into the headland that can accommodate up to 5,000 people. The construction of Barangaroo was an extremely significant and ambitious landscape project, a beautiful addition to the Sydney Harbour, becoming a must-see for locals and tourists alike.
Simply a stunning part of Sydney now, the Barangaroo Reserve. As we tick over the 2 hours, and Mon, as you said, this is a mental equation now. The 2 hours is done. You're chasing PB times.
Great time for a person to be in front, leading, controlling the race. 2 hours ticked over. You're thinking 10K, 2 or 3K to go, and yeah, look, he's looking great.
So stretching before a race is really important. You want to get your joints lubricated before you're running. You want to get your muscles warm. And if that's not happening and mentally you're not, present and focused, which preparation before a race really helps with, you can really easily injure yourself. So yoga helps preparing for any kind of physical activity, including racing. It's mental and physical. So physically, we're getting the body ready. We're keeping ourselves mobile and injury-free. We're definitely less likely to injure ourselves. And then mentally preparing ourselves to stay focused. The breath work helps with that. Meditation can help with that. And just when you're in a tough yoga posture, having to stay in that posture and breathe calmly, that's all incredible mental preparation for a race. So once you've finished, head to the Blackmores Recovery Village where there's yoga, there's massage, there's fresh fruit, there's plenty of ways to hydrate, and just a great way to celebrate finishing the race.
This gap is narrowing, absolutely narrowing, and within sight of the finish line, they can literally look across the water now and see. You can see it there. That's the finish line right in the forecourt of the Sydney Opera House.
That's where we are waiting for the victor, and we are seeing the changing of the leadership with only just outside a kilometre to go.
So Aboya has been in the lead for most of this marathon, and Hattori blows past and gives him windburn on the way.
There was no response, was there? There was a look there across, and it was a resignation. I think he knows he just can't go with him. There's nothing left in those legs.
No, and he's on the way. Even the 2:13, 2:14 pace, that will be a personal best for Shota Hattori as well. And we're seeing that Walkinu's trying to respond, but you can't. When you've got no energy, that's it.
And how buoyant does it make the Japanese runner feel when he knows that there's nothing left from his opponent he's just gone past?
Well, you hope he doesn't hit the wall now. That's all he's got to worry is run his own race, not be worried about what's happening behind, and just run strongly to the finish.
There was a quick slideward glance from Hattori there to make sure that there was nothing coming back at him over this last. There it was again. Look, he's checking again. Well, I think the only wall he's going to hit is the Opera House, I think, if he keeps on at this rate. He's looking good.
He is. It's great. And there is that positive look forward, run on to the finish, control your race. Just got to get around Circular Quay now and you're home. They know there's only a couple of minutes of running left. So, again, Japanese looking like they're going to steal a march on the Africans and take out victory here at the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival and the Sydney Marathon.
We've had Japanese winners in 2015, 2016 as well, so if Hattori can get there, it will be 3 in a row for the runners from Japan.
Great tradition, isn't it, really? Absolutely.
Yeah,
and he's loving it. Look at him. Look, yeah, big high five.
Well, he's obviously travelling well. No, he's not going to hit the wall.
He was looking so serious before in the early part of the race, but from here on in, he's really having a ball.
Now, he's just got to keep it together now, doesn't he? Just got to keep it together, but you can sense it. The jubilation is starting to emerge. He believes now.
Yeah, but you've got to keep that emotion in. He's got to run. He's still got to get his body to just focus on covering this last 600 metres. So you can't be celebrating. You've got to keep all that in. Celebrations are for when you cross the finish line, not till you've done that.
And this is Aboye who is rolling along behind him, but now without conviction. He knows that potentially his move that he made at the drink station, tried to get some separation there. It hasn't resulted in this desired effect.
I told you it was too aggressive, Steve, didn't I?
You're always right today. But having said that, he's still run a great race.
Yeah, he has, and he'll be actually happy. Sort of disappointed, but happy to have still got podiumed and to have run very well. And ran aggressive. Certainly gave it everything, but we won't take away from Shota Hattori, a really strong, convincing winner.
And, of course, at a gold label event, this has got so much status, the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival and the marathon component. He is pumping up the crowd and loving it.
Get on him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as I say, they prepare so well, and this has been a great run from Hattori. It really has.
Only a couple of 100 metres to go. He'll go up the ramp. There it is. You can see the sails of the Sydney Opera House in the background. He's making his way to the forecourt.
There he is. We can see him as he makes his way into the finish line, enjoying the moment.
So here he comes now. We're inside. He puts the sunglasses on top of the head. He makes every moment count. And look at the thumbs up as Shota Hattori gives Japan a three-peat in the Blackmores Sydney Marathon. Bows to the crowd. Congratulations. What a magnificent moment for the young man from Japan. He's come here, he's run to a game plan, and he's achieved success.
And would you believe, I think, just inside his personal best by seconds, I reckon, is about right on. So we'll have to wait for the official time, but I think he'll be happy with that.
Right, Boyu, well, he gave everything he had, really, didn't he? And as I said, the legs just didn't have it over the last 2K or so. Yeah, he's thirsty now. He missed that drink station.
Yeah,
that may have been crucial.
He was the best runner to 40K. Unfortunately, the marathon is 42.2, and it didn't quite get him there today. But still a really great run. He seems pretty happy. He actually looks in quite good shape. He's fine. So.
Yeah, that was career, I think, coming in third place for him. So a good run from him as well.
And we like good Japanese, Ethiopian, Kenyan podium, so a truly international event.
Now for Magda Haji, she'll be able to look across to the left-hand side there, and she will see the Sydney Opera House and the white sails, the harbour in the background, the ferries plying their trade, and there is the Sydney Opera House right there. That's her finishing point. She needs to loop around past Circular Quay, and this becomes now probably a long, long way, does it, Steve Moneghetti?
Yeah, it certainly does. You want to just skip across the water. I can see it, but I can't go that way. So I think she's fine. She's checking her watch, and I think she's probably in a position where she might be in the last case, so she's probably within, personal best time, but just still wants to run on to make sure she gets the victory. Magda Haji representing Victoria in the national championship, so national title as well, there for the taking. She's about to come inside, so she's going to run in the high 227s, 228.
Yeah,
looking powerful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great runner because, as Steve said, she took it on from about 1 hour 10. 1 hour 10. So she's been running virtually half of the marathon on her own at this sort of rhythm.
We should celebrate this. This is an outstanding performance.
Yeah.
One of the best runs we've ever seen here at the Blackmore Sydney Running Festival.
So coming all the way through, Magda Haji, and what a terrific run. She checks the timepiece again, but what a magnificent effort as we can see her start to close in on the last 30 or 40 metres.
Kick.
And she goes now. And Magda Haji defends her title in a course record time at the Blackmores Sydney Marathon. What a magnificent and outstanding run from Magda Haji, going back to back.
A minute and a half, Steve, or more under the course record. You can't ask for more than that.
Really good run from Couture.
Yeah, she closed the gap, Couture. She has. Yeah. It was a minute at some stage. I don't think it's that far now. So she was closing over the last part of the race.
Yeah, it'll be just. I think she has run on about just under the minute again. So that's a really good finish. Got a smile on her face. It's a great result.
Couture crossing the finish line in second, the Kenyan.
Cabarrus, just 26 earlier in the year, so a little bit outside that, but a good result.
And you can see our bridge runners also coming across the line. Well done to Mercy, third position. And have a look at our winner here, Shota Hattori from Japan, making it 3 in a row for Japanese runners. And the arms were extended. He knew it was his with probably, a kilometre to go. And our winner, of course, going back-to-back, Magda Haji in the women's. And that's a course record. What a magnificent run from both of those runners.
I love running long distance, so this year I'm going to take the challenge and run the half marathon alongside my brilliant Run Girl Run crew. The Run Girl Run crew, myself and Steph, have been running through a program for the last 12 weeks. The whole aim is just to bring a community of women together to empower them to take on the challenge of running across the Sydney Harbour Bridge and blocking up that 21 kilometres. Steph and myself have been teaching these ladies and training them into Pilates, strength and conditioning, and then 3 tailored running sessions for the 12 weeks. We also focus on nutrition, where hydration is very important, and obviously fueling your body. My advice to keep people motivated in the race would be A, run with a friend. That always helps me, keeps a smile on my face and stops you from slacking off. 2 would be listening to music, a very happy pump-up song, especially those last kilometres to get you over the finish line. And number 3, run in a beautiful location. That always inspires me to kick up that pace.
All right, I'm down here with some Guinness World Record attempters, and I've got Matt and Mike with me now. Boys, you're running in suits today. What is the world record for that?
The current world record is 2 hours and 58 minutes and 3 seconds.
Wow, and you have the record for the half at the moment, don't you?
Right, yeah, that's right. Fastest half marathon in a suit. Took that out last year, and now I'm hoping to add the full marathon as well.
And I think Matt's going to try and get in your way, right?
That's right.
I think Mike may have the experience today, but we'll see how we go.
All right, and do we see chafing in these suits? Obviously, they're nylon. How do you protect against that?
Mine's actually a wool suit. And so I've got a bit of 3B cream, a bit of, cream to help get rid of any chafing and, give it a good shot.
All right, well, best of luck, boys. Now we've got Jordan here. Jordan, well done, mate. No, not well done. You haven't done it yet. But what are you going to do? What world record are you going to break?
Attempting to break the Guinness World Record for fastest marathon dribbling 2 basketballs.
Have you tried that before?
I have not tried the marathon with 2 basketballs. I've been training with the 2 basketballs, but haven't done, 42 kilo or 26.2 miles yet, so first time.
What time are you hoping for?
Sub 4.
Wow, okay, all right. What sort of training do you do for that? Just spend a lot of time bouncing balls around?
Correct, yeah. I spent the past month and a half maybe doing my long runs with the 2 basketballs, so I'm going to give it a shot and do my best. So.
All right, well, make sure you don't throw any of those balls off the bridge there. Poor ferry will go past you, knock someone out. All right, good luck, Jordan. And, sir, you forgot to get changed after you got out of bed?
Yeah, that's it. I thought I'd have a bit of a sleep in this morning, so helped out a bit.
And so your world record attempt is to be the fastest man in his pyjamas?
That's correct, yeah.
What is the current world record?
It's 3 hours, 44 minutes, 55 seconds.
There you go. You reckon you got it today?
Yeah, should have it in the bag today.
Good luck. And, Madame, you are breaking the world record for...
I'm making the world record for the fastest marathon dressed in a cartoon character costume.
Oh, there you go. What time are you hoping for?
Under 3 hours 24. I used to have it. The Minnie Mouse took it away from me in April this year.
Damn you, Minnie Mouse. All right, well, we wish you all the very best of luck.
Coming through here, it is number 53, which is Matthew Whitaker. He is chasing the world record, the Guinness World Record for fastest marathon in a suit. The time currently stands at 2 hours, 58 minutes and 3 seconds. And for Matthew Whitaker, he has broken that world record.
He was so far back. But he actually finished.
Don't worry about getting the business done in the suits. Shota Hattori got the business done when it counted. 2:15.16. A great time for him, and just beating home Aboye from Ethiopia and also Korea as well from Kenya. And you're looking at some of the Aussies there.
Yeah, Taksim winning the Aussie Championships, Steve.
And Jai Edmonds, as we saw in the Victorian singlet there, and I think Gary Mullins. So I think that might have been our 3. So they're pretty good times too.
Yeah, good performance from them as well. Yeah,
good results.
And in the women's, a course record it was for Magda Haji, going back-to-back in 2:28.07.
And Bornes Katusek, I think also under the old course record, and Mercy Cabarrus just outside. So great result for the women.
That was a great performance from the
highlight
women.
of the day.
Without any question.
Up on the top of the podium, there we go, Magda Haji, back-to-back winner, smashing that course record.
Australian champion too.
That's right, national champion, Sydney Marathon, defending champion, back-to-back.
Course record, what a day.
Course record, gee, it's all pretty good. Our winner, trifecta for Japan, Shota Hattori.
Continuing their dominance, really. Japan in the men's event, that's a great performance again.
42-kilometre medal there for Hattori. And we should, of course, say thanks to everyone who's been a part of it. Ian Gates, Jason Jenkins, Wayne Larden as well, Andrew Reid. And on behalf of Steve Ovett and Steve Moneghetti, I'm Ian Cohen. Congratulations to all our competitors and to Shota Hattori and Magda Haji in a course record, our 2 winners. We can say a very good morning from the Opera House and the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival.